Hello and welcome to the post-match analysis show of FC Goa versus ATK match. I am filling in for our sports editor Neeraj Prabhu today, but our analyst and in-house guest remains the same, former India striker and renowned player Francis D'Souza. Sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
A 0-0 result after a long time for FC Goa. You expected this or you wanted a 1-1, 2-2, 3-3 kind of a scenario?
Yeah, IFC Goa is known to be a high scoring team. You have the golden boot player with you, Koro. So expectations are always high. And the opponent teams also know that with the past performance, if you take in account, it's a attacking team, and Koro has been at his best even in this season. So we don't expect a nil result, but unfortunately, Koro was not given too much of leeway by the rock solid defense of ATK, and that's why we missed chances by the opponent teams, a number of chances. And football is all about converting chances.
What went wrong in your opinion? Why there were no possibility of converting any chances from either side?
In fact, it is that you have to really think of deciding, taking your decision, being at the right place at the right time and doing the right things. If you don't do that, you don't get on the score sheets. And that's what happened to both the teams.
Yeah.
I mean, you have seen chances, couple of chances for FC Goa. You've seen 3-4 chances, one after the other for ATK in the first half. And they couldn't really decide what exactly has to be done in that particular field of play on top of the box to get you the desired result.
This match was also touted as the Koro versus Lanzarote kind of a scenario. You watched Lanzarote yesterday against FC Goa. How do you compare his performance with the last season that he had with our team?
Yeah, Pramod, it's not the battle between individuals. It's a team game. It's a battle between one team and the other. So I don't think there's too much of importance to be laid on that aspect. But it was a very competitive match. You see nil-nil score putting on the pressure. It's all about pressure.
So how was Lanza's performance compared to the last season?
In fact, there is very less support that Lanza is receiving from ATK. Let's be very honest about it. It's not that free-flowing football and ball possession that FC Goa plays, and that gives Lanzarote last year a lot of options. They had very good backup players to support him, and in spite of he being on the score sheet, he assisted a lot for goals scored by Koro. So it's a combination. It's a football game. It's a combination between two or more individuals on the field. And I think he didn't get that much of support, although he tried his individually to be at his best yesterday, being the captain and spearheading the attack. And for him, it was a personal battle because he had moved from FC Goa to ATK. So in that way, he was trying to prove a point. To a certain extent, he did, but ultimately, you have to get 3 points on board until you say that you have succeeded.
Did we miss Hugo Boumos in the midfield yesterday?
I don't think we have missed Boumos because ATK's strategy was very, very solid. They knew exactly what they were doing. They wanted, because the philosophy of FC Goa was to attack the opponent goal. They knew that when they attack with a lot of pressure on the opponents, and that's why they brought in BK as to partner Johnson in the mid part of the defense, and that strategy worked very well because they completely bottled Koro, didn't give him the space and the time to do much, and little that he did, he created one chance. It was a beautiful save by goalkeeper, and the 90th minute run that Koro is known to be taking most of the time. Apart from that, I think
you think they also succeeded in restricting Jahu quite a bit yesterday?
Yeah, in fact, Jahu is, Lanzarote knows the secret of FC Goa. So there must be team talk in the dressing room or in the hotel how we should go about trying to stop FC Goa. And I think that was the strategy, because the long balls, you haven't seen any in fact, I have not seen any long ball by Jahu being played to anybody, which was so prominent in the other games. And reason of that, and because of that reason, I think they were to a certain extent successful in stopping those long balls by Jahu.
The first and the most important would be the Seriton chance that was very open. The second was Murtaza's chance, the header. Which chance do you think? And third was obviously Koro's ball being stopped brilliantly by the goalkeeper. And then the last minute chance at the 95th minute. Which one do you think was the most promising chance that we could have converted?
I think the most obvious scoring opportunity that they got was a Murtaza fall. I mean, I think he mistimed his header because the ball pitched and awkwardly, and then he didn't attack the ball a little earlier. So when you don't attack a pitched ball a little earlier, I mean, it goes away from you. So that's exactly what happened, and he hit it out on the first post. Sheraton maybe have been a little bit out of position with a narrow angle and a host of defenders, I think, and he wanted to get as close to the first post as possible, but didn't succeed. And then Koro, that's the only time he got the space and the time. He moved beautifully, but goalkeeper was right there to stop that goal. And I think what Koro did was the maximum that he could do, because there were two players hounding him. And to be honest, Pramod, I think I have seen last two matches, you know, that initial burst or that aggressive finishing that Koro does, I have not seen him with that aggression in these last two games. I think he may be a little exhausted or carrying some niggle, because he doesn't come with that explosive run or explosive finish that he has. And if that was a little explosive, I think we could have got a goal in.
What about the last minute chance? It was Koro and Edubedia trying to set up the goal, and still we missed it.
Yeah, because it was a beautiful run by Koro, his signature run, and I think he got into a very, very acute angle. There was not much space and there was not much time, and Beria had to tap the ball quicker, thinking that, you know, he would get a glance into a goal, but that was not to be. But it was a very good opportunity at the last minute, and if it had been converted, we would have been very lucky.
Again, I think they were questioning our defense, and they were quite successfully getting into very dangerous positions. Why are we not getting this right? We are practically halfway through the league now, and still the kind of defensive errors we are committing, they can be very, very dangerous and fatal as the league progresses.
In fact, if you see, Pramod, the number of passes that FC Goa made in the opponent's half, they were completely dominating. I think maximum number of passes were in that area, and as a result, there was a lot of space created in the defensive midfield, and that's where Lanzarote and company exploited, and they have created the chances because they had the time and the space. But if you see, there has to be cover for each other in defense, and when you are in and out of the team, like Sanna, who has come back in and out of the team in place of suspended Ali, your confidence is always low, because and if you see even Penna, he was more in the attack.
Yes.
Because the philosophy is attacking the opponent's goal. So you definitely leave space at the back, and most of the attack you have seen is from the right wing side, where the first Everton toe was there. Then that Jayesh Rane was creating a lot of problems for them in that area. So that area of left back and the left stopper has always been a debatable area.
It's also interesting that it was Murtaza that was manning the area, and couple of these chances were created because of his errors. How do you judge his performance up till now?
In fact, he is also not as consistent as he should be. In fact, he did bring a beautiful save during the game of header, which was
it was a beautiful clearance also.
It was a free kick by Lanzarote, and that was a beautiful save. So he's not been consistent with his performance, and owing to the fragile FC Goa defense, I mean, we expect a foreigner of reputation of Murtaza Fall
up his game.
to rise up to the occasion, to shoulder most of the defensive abilities there at that part. Although we have youngsters like Sana and Muhammad Ali coming in, but I think Sheraton had a good game yesterday. His wing he protected very well.
Yeah. Now one of the controversial moments in the game, the handball call at 65th minute. So what do you make of this? It's quite clear. I don't think there is an element of doubt if you look at the visuals, and this could have been the turning point of the game for FC Goa.
Definitely, definitely. It was a very genuine shout for penalty. I fully agree, because the ball did strike the hand of Beke. Now the question is, was the referee in the right position to see the ball hit the hand or the chest? That's one debatable. Was the assistant referee being blocked by a defender, which the assistant referee could have also been pulled?
Yeah.
And thirdly, we see that the hand is in that position. He might have been trying to take it away, and then the ball hit the hand. So, as the law says, as FIFA law says, it's always in the opinion of the referee of the day. And the referee didn't take a call for a penalty that way. But the ball was definitely going towards the goal.
Yeah.
And it was stopped by means of hand. So I think
it was a definite penalty.
If it was any other referee, he might have called for a penalty kick. But this referee, in his opinion, he didn't award the kick.
So it was a definite penalty.
Yeah, it was a definite penalty. On a given day, any referee would have taken the call.
What do you think about, now we are halfway through the league. 9 games we have completed. We are comfortably on second position. But if you look at the table, there are at least 6 to 7 teams that are still in the reckoning. How do you look at that with the kind of performance we have done for the last 2 games? How difficult is the path ahead?
Yeah, if you have been observing, or if you have been looking at the past ISL 4, it has been a similar story for FC Goa. There was a lull in between the end of the first phase. They have been losing last year, and they didn't get the desired points. And we had also,
it was a high, it was a low, and it was a high again.
Yeah, that was the graph that was there last year. I think we are coming to something like that, because the last 2 games we have lost the last game. We had problems with the earlier one, and we have a 0-0 draw in this one. So I think we have a thing, but for all purposes, FC Goa is a very, very strong team, very attacking team. They have Koro with them, who can change things for them. They are lucky to have him, and I think they are strong contenders for the one of the four places in the semi-finals. But even then, now the other teams are picking up, like Jamshedpur, ATK. Bengaluru is going very steadily ahead.
Northeast
United
also
is performing very well.
Yeah.
So the performance of the other teams,
Mumbai is quite picking up.
And now 7 or 8 teams do have a chance if they try to win maximum games as possible. So I think that the tournament is still open for the 4 places for most of the teams, except for Delhi and Chennai. They have a mountain to climb. But these 6 or 7 teams are still in contention for a semi-final berth.
Post-match, FC Goa ran a nice poll regarding who was the most promising player of the game, and more than 68% people voted for Mohammad Nawaz. How important do you think was his performance in keeping this 0-0?
In fact, in my opinion, yesterday for me the man of the match was Nawaz, because he kept FC Goa alive in that particular game. He came up with out of the blue saves with his legs, with his flicks, everything. And I thought he was the right contender for the hero of the match. But it was given for a fighting and defensive midfielder of ATK. And I think he is growing up with confidence. And that's a good sign for FC Goa. Like you said, the fragilities at the defense. And the
It
last
puts all the more pressure on the goalkeeper.
on the goalkeeper. And if he comes with some good save like he did yesterday, it is boosting the confidence of the other players and keeps the team in the reckoning for the semi-final match.
Another player, what about Jackie Chan? He's still not getting his groove. He's still not performing up to his potential on the field. You feel so?
Yeah, I think Jackie Chan needs a lot of space to maneuver. He won't be maneuvering like Edobedia or Brandon or somebody else who have ball skills and technical ability. He is not that technically able player to play in a very small area and to capitalize on it. So he needs room to move. He needs the flank to move around with his pace and his crosses. So that was not available to him yesterday. So that's why you find him. He was not
even in the previous game against Bengaluru.
Yeah, because this is what all the opponent teams are trying to learn from what are the strengths of FC Goa, and they are trying to cover up with their strategies, and they have been successful.
Yeah.
So you've seen Koro has not been on the score list for last two or three games. So I think to a certain extent the strategies, the observations of the other team is paying dividends to them, because if on a given day FC Goa is a free flowing, dangerous attacking team, they can score goals at any point of time.
We haven't seen Palanka on the field also for more than 2 matches now. You feel we are still in a comfort zone to do the experimentation, or we should stick to this? The coach is experimenting with the midfield. How do you feel? We are still in that comfort zone to do more experimentation, or now more or less halfway through the league, we know the set, we should stick to the composition?
I think there is, like you said, we are halfway in the league. Your phase of experimentation is almost getting over, because you have your first target of qualifying into this four positions. So I don't think there is much to be experimented now. And our performances now for the last 3 games have not been very fruitful and convincing. So I think there is no point in experimenting now. You say Palanka has not come inside. It's because I think we have 5 foreigners, so he has a problem of whom to really leave out. And because some of the foreigners he can't leave out.
Is Koro running the risk of overexposure?
I don't think so.
No.
But you can't expect a forward to play consistently for 9 games at his top most best. He's always going to have a lull, and this is his lull. So I think he is quite capable of coming back with the quality that he has displayed in the games to come. And I'm sure once player realizes what he has to deliver, I think player of his caliber.
We have seen this in the last season also, that FC Goa starts very well, then the opponent teams deploy their countermeasures, and then we have to evolve from those countermeasures and come up with something new. Are we lacking in creativity right now on the field, or we still have time to be more creative?
No, Pramod, one advantage FC Goa has is they have most of the old players for the second leg season.
Yeah.
So that camaraderie, that understanding, the coordination is always there. So there's a lot of chip chopping and replacement of players with most of the teams. So it takes time for them to settle down. So that advantage of having a team of last year is evident with the success of FC Goa in the initial stages. But as the tournament progresses, the opponent coaches.
Are we being more and more creative, or the initial creativity is already countered now?
Yeah, most of the teams have countered creativity, because it's time that they learn, they observe, and they deploy their strategy and the philosophies that they have to use against FC Goa. And that has been the problem with FC Goa from last year and this season. But it's left up to them to work more hard. I mean, it's a little bit of effort that is required now, that they have to come up with, because that what they would be doing now henceforth. Like even last year, that extra bit of effort, that extra bit of push that is required from the team.
Yeah.
You see, Edobedia was not at his real best yesterday. Even Jahu was not at his real best. So somehow they were a little subdued. But going ahead in the competition now with the second
They will
phase,
have to counter
they
that.
will have to counter that. They will have to rise up over their, they have to get over their body lethargy and perform.
Halfway through the league, Bengaluru is on top of the table. But whom do you consider as the best team for now? That's my last question to you.
Yeah, Bengaluru has been very consistent, very compact, very coordinated. They know very well their objective of how they go ahead. And most of the players, like I said also, it's a team that is playing with most of the players together. So what has shown us is that a team who has retained their old guards, they have been successful in the top two positions at the moment, because team coordination, knowing each other and performing has been fruitful to both these teams. So at this moment, I think Bengaluru looks very confident and very performing side.
So you are saying they are still the tournament favorites?
Yeah, they are always the tournament favorite for me.
Yeah. That's it from us. We'll be back after the next match, and definitely I won't be sitting in this chair. Neeraj will be back. So thanks a lot, sir, for putting up with me. I hope I lived up to your expectations and your expectations. Pleasure talking to you.
And I'm happy to have you here, and it's a privilege.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.